Salams and welcome. Thank you for joining me in part 11 of breast cancer awareness. And today we are looking at the basics of breast cancer awareness, and we are continuing with the psychological impact on a human being when she is diagnosed with cancer. And this particular component of the psychology of breast cancer, which is existential concerns, that applies both to men and women. It does not matter even to children or youngsters. This is a very, very deep type of existential crisis that people go through. The existential crisis is facing a life threatening illness can raise questions about mortality, your purpose of life, your meaning of life. What is life all about? So, some people start asking deep, deep questions because they go through this existential crisis. That what is life all about? Did I just come here? Did I get born to die? Is that my job in life that now I must die? And then everyone else is enjoying their life and I must now wake up and go for chemotherapy or radiotherapy. Or I'm only going to live now for the next 2 years or 3 years and then I'm dead in the grave. What is going to happen to me? And numerous studies have shown that the more spiritually inclined you are, the better your ability to deal with patients, at least to deal with problems of chronic illness. In cases for Muslims throughout the country, Muslims, alhamdulillah, have a deep, deep, deep attachment to the Creator Supreme through a concept of Tawheed, that there is only one Creator, and Taqwa, which is God consciousness and awareness of the Creator, and opening the Musalla and putting your forehead on the ground, that gives you direct contact and communication with your Creator. For those who are not Muslims, many non-Muslims also find a heightened sense of awareness or awakening about a greater reality. And many people who are not really very conscious about religion and so on suddenly become very religiously inclined or very deeply inclined towards spirituality or meditation and so on. Other people decide that, you know what, I want to spend the last few months or the last few years of my life in touring the world, and they would go to far out places, whether it's into the mountains or to Tibet or wherever they want to go. And we know many famous celebrities have also done that on hiking trails where they went all out alone and they had to face the demons in their brain and in the heart to try and find out the meaning and purpose of life. But at the end of the day, alhamdulillah, as Muslims, we know our meaning and purpose of life. We know why we have been created. We know why there is illness. We know that in Surah Baqarah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will test us. You cannot get paradise for free, or He will test us as to our extensive of our belief, and Allah will test us with our health and our wealth and our loss in life and loss in goods and loss in the toil of our labor. And Allah is pleased with those who are Allah is with the as-sabirun, right? If you have patient constancy in what you are doing and you hold fast to Deen al-Islam, then that gives you the meaning in life. But that does not mean that everything is easy and hunky-dory. So whether you are male or female, whether you have breast cancer in the female or prostate cancer in the male or lung cancer, you will go through the same questions, the difficult question to say, what is the meaning of life? Why have I been alive? And I better prepare my will because I don't want to leave my family helpless. Because what are they going to do without me? In some cases, they will say, okay, will the family be happy that I am no longer around? Because some families will be happy if the person is no longer around. Other families will be sad that the person is no longer around. So it all depends on individual family circumstances. But the patient themselves, they go through this existential crisis and then they start prioritizing different aspects of life. Then the work no longer has any meaning to them. They don't want to anymore go on a 9 to 5 type of job to say, I must go to job and then do what? And especially if you've got a savings account, then you find that you want to do something different with your life. Maybe you want to leave behind a positive legacy for other people. And many people then, especially Hollywood celebrities or other singer celebrities, because they don't have any concern about money or any financial worries, they then become advocates or spokesperson for the cancer that they have. For example, Lance Armstrong, the cyclist, he then used to talk about the cancer that he had. And we find Hollywood celebrities, they would then come out, have a lot of TV interviews, radio interviews, and go on road shows to spread awareness about the breast cancer that is affecting them. So it all depends in what way will you find meaning in your life. Will you find meaning in your life by going to the mosque or going to the church, or will you find meaning in your life by giving seminars and giving talks and by sharing knowledge and making people aware that please go early for a diagnosis, because the sooner you can catch the cancer, the better is your outcome. And the outcome for each person is different, because every human being is different, and every person will have a different existential crisis. My existential concerns will be different from someone else's existential concerns, and the existential crisis has led many people to question about the life and meaning of purpose of life. And if you are not a Muslim, I would encourage you to please get a copy of the Quran today, open it and read it. There's English copies of the Quran available, Afrikaans copies of the Quran available, and various of our local languages. Contact the IDM or contact any mosque or any Muslim organization or any Muslim, and they will be more than happy to give you a copy of the Quran. Open it and you will find answers to the questions. What is the meaning of life? What am I supposed to do here? What is the purpose of life? What happens at the time of death? What are the type of angels that come to greet me at the time of death? What is the barzakh? What happens in the grave? What happens after the grave? What is the day of resurrection? What is the day of judgment? What is the bridge? And so on. What is heaven? What is hell? So the Quran will give you all the questions that you want when you're going through an existential crisis to find meaning and purpose to your life. Stay well, stay focused, look after yourself. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.